Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to do something for me right now. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Feel that. That's life. That's proof that you're still here, still standing, still fighting. Every single breath you take is a reminder that you have not been defeated. You may have been knocked down, but you are not knocked out. You may have been broken, but you are not finished. As long as you are breathing, you still have power. I remember years ago, when I was at one of the lowest points in my life, I sat in a quiet room and I could barely find the strength to move forward. My dreams seemed too far away. My failures felt too heavy. My circumstances screamed at me that I didn't have what it takes. And yet, there I was, breathing, alive. And in that stillness, it hit me. As long as I could breathe, I could rise. As long as I could breathe, I could choose again. As long as I could breathe, I had the power to change my story. And I want to ask you something today. What are you doing with the power inside your breath? Because every inhale is a gift, and every exhale is a chance to release what's been holding you back. Some of you walked in here carrying the weight of your past. Some of you came in here suffocating under fear, under doubt, under the opinions of other people. But today, I want you to breathe differently. I want you to breathe power. See, when you learn how to breathe power into your life, when you inhale courage and exhale doubt, when you inhale faith and exhale fear, when you inhale vision and exhale excuses, everything changes. You start walking differently. You start talking differently. You start living with fire. And over the next few moments, I want to take you on a journey through the battles, the breakthroughs, the lessons, and the truths that will show you how to breathe power into every corner of your life. Because this isn't just about motivation. This is about transformation. This is about remembering who you are, what you're capable of, and why you cannot stop here. So let's begin. Because somebody listening to me right now, you've been running on empty. You've been suffocating in silence. But today, I'm here to tell you, it's time to take a deep breath. It's time to breathe power. Recognize the power in every breath. Every single breath you take is more than just oxygen moving in and out of your lungs. It is life's way of reminding you, you still have a chance, you still have another moment, another opportunity, another shot to rise above where you are right now. Too many people underestimate this. They think life has to look perfect before they can move, before they can dream again, before they can fight again. But the truth is, the moment you wake up and realize, I'm still breathing, that is the very moment you must remind yourself, I still have power. There was a young man I once knew who faced a mountain of rejection. Every door seemed to close in his face. Every time he reached for opportunity, it slipped away. He became so discouraged that he started to believe the lie that he was not meant for greatness, that maybe life just had nothing left for him. But one day, in his darkest hour, he sat quietly and he noticed something. His heart was still beating, his chest still rising and falling. And he realized, if I'm still alive, I'm not finished. If I'm still breathing, God's not through with me yet. That shift in perspective changed everything. He started small. He took one step, then another. And over time, his life began to bloom again. See, the enemy of your greatness wants you to forget the simplest truth. As long as you have breath, you are dangerous. Because breath is the foundation of possibility. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to have all the resources, all the answers, or even all the strength. What you need is to remember that if you are alive, the fight is not over. I want to speak to someone who feels tired, someone who has been carrying burdens so heavy that every day feels like survival. Maybe you've been waiting for a sign that things can change. Let me give you that sign. You just took a breath. That's it. That's your reminder. That's your confirmation. That's your proof. Life has not given up on you, so you cannot give up on yourself. When you recognize the power in every breath, you stop living as a victim of your circumstances and start living as a victor of your resilience. You understand that your breath is not just keeping you alive, it is fueling your future. Every inhale fills you with new strength, and every exhale lets go of what no longer serves you. Think about that. With every breath, you have a chance to reset, to refocus, to reclaim the fight inside you. Too often we wait for the big break, the perfect timing, the dream opportunity. But breathing is the greatest opportunity you will ever be given. And you already have it. If you're listening to me right now, you already possess what you need to start again. Don't waste another breath complaining about what went wrong. Don't waste another breath doubting your worth. Use that breath to declare, I'm still here. I'm still standing and I still have power. When life knocks you down, your breath is what pulls you back up. When the voices of doubt surround you, your breath is what silences the noise. When fear tells you it's over, your breath tells you it's not. That's why you must recognize the power in it. It's more than air, it's strength. It's hope. It's proof that you are needed, that your story is not finished, and that your destiny is still alive inside you. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself, I am alive, and because I am alive, I have another chance. That's the first step to breathing power into your life, recognizing that the very act of breathing makes you unstoppable. As long as you can breathe, you can believe. As long as you can breathe, you can fight. And as long as you can breathe, you can win. Breathe through the storms of life. Life will test you. Life will break you down and shake you to your core. There will be moments when everything you thought you could count on crumbles. There will be storms that come uninvited, storms that tear at your confidence, storms that make you question whether you can go on. And in those moments, when the wind is howling and the rain is pounding against you, the greatest weapon you have is the breath within you. Because when you breathe through the storm, you remind yourself that no matter how fierce it gets, you still have power. I remember speaking with a woman who had lost almost everything. Her marriage had fallen apart, her finances had collapsed, and her health was failing. She told me there were nights she didn't even want to wake up in the morning. But one day, sitting on the edge of her bed, she took a long, deep breath. And with tears streaming down her face, she said to herself, if I can breathe through this, I can live through this. That one breath became the anchor that kept her from drowning in despair. Day by day, she kept breathing. She kept showing up. And little by little, she rebuilt her life. That's what I want you to hear today. You don't survive storms because they are easy. You survive because you refuse to stop breathing through them. The storm will scream at you to panic, to give up, to collapse under its weight. But when you slow down, when you take that breath, when you remind yourself that storms don't last forever, you tap into a strength that can carry you through anything. Think about it. In every storm, there are two voices fighting for your attention. One says, you're finished. You can't make it. The other says, breathe. Hold on. Keep moving. The one you choose to listen to will determine whether you sink or rise. I'm telling you right now, you've got to choose the breath. Choose the voice that says, keep going. Choose the reminder that as long as you can inhale, you have not been defeated. I know some of you are in a storm right now. Maybe it's the storm of financial hardship. Maybe it's the storm of loneliness. Maybe it's the storm of failure that has knocked you down again and again. But hear me, your storm is not stronger than your breath. Your storm is not greater than the power within you. The storm may be loud, but your breath is louder if you let it be. Sometimes, when the pressure is overwhelming, all you need to do is pause and breathe. Because in that pause, you regain clarity. In that pause, you regain courage. In that pause, you realize that the storm is not the end. It is only a chapter, and chapters change. The storm will pass. The sun will rise again, and you will come out stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. Let me tell you this, diamonds are formed under pressure. The strongest trees grow through the harshest winds. And some of the greatest champions this world has ever known were forged in storms that should have destroyed them. What kept them alive? What kept them fighting? They learned how to breathe through it. They didn't panic. They didn't quit. They found power in the middle of chaos. And that's what you must do. When life feels unbearable, breathe. When fear grips your heart, breathe. When doubt clouds your vision, breathe. Because the storm is temporary, but your breath is eternal as long as you live. It is your anchor. It is your weapon. It is your declaration that no matter how rough it gets, you will not be moved. So when the storm comes, and it will, stand tall. Don't let panic dictate your destiny. Take a breath. Feel the strength rise inside you, and remind yourself, I am stronger than this storm. I am greater than this struggle. I am built to outlast this. Because as long as I can breathe, I will rise again. Breathe courage when fear tries to take over. Fear is a thief. It robs people of their dreams, their confidence, their potential. Fear whispers in your ear, you're not enough. You can't do this. What if you fail? What if people laugh at you? And if you're not careful, fear will strangle you until you stop moving, stop trying, and stop believing. But here's the truth: fear cannot survive where courage is constantly breathed into your soul. Every time fear rises up, you have to inhale courage and exhale doubt. That's how you take your power back. I remember years ago, standing backstage before a speech that could change my life. My heart was pounding so loudly I thought the audience could hear it. My hands were shaking. My mind was filled with what ifs. What if I forget my words? What if they don't like me? What if I'm not good enough? I wanted to run. I wanted to escape. But then I closed my eyes and took a deep, steady breath. With every inhale, I reminded myself, you are meant for this. With every exhale, I released the lies of fear. And when I walked out onto that stage, I didn't walk with fear. I walked with courage. That moment taught me that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to breathe through fear and move anyway. So many of you are sitting on dreams right now because you're waiting for fear to disappear. Let me tell you, it never does. Fear doesn't vanish, it waits. It waits for the moment you want to take a step higher. And then it shows up to test you. Fear says, you're too small, you're too broken, you're too late. But courage says, brave. Courage says, step forward anyway. Courage says, do it afraid. The most powerful people you admire, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, the visionaries, the artists, they all felt fear. But what separates them from those who never step into their purpose is that they refuse to let fear silence their breath. They chose courage in the face of trembling hands and racing hearts. They learned how to inhale strength and exhale weakness. Think about this. Fear is only as strong as the breath you give it. If you keep feeding it with your energy, your focus, and your imagination, it will grow bigger and bigger until it controls you. But if you shift that breath into courage, if you fuel faith instead of fear, fear loses its grip. It shrinks. It becomes powerless. I know some of you are standing at the edge of something right now. A decision, a risk, a leap of faith. And fear is screaming at you not to do it. But let me ask you this, what if you breathed courage instead? What if you chose to trust the power inside you rather than the fear outside of you? You might discover the door you've been waiting for has been unlocked the whole time, and all you had to do was walk through. Let me make it clear. Courage does not mean you won't feel afraid. Courage means you will not let fear stop you. Courage means you look fear in the eye, take a breath, and say, you will not control me. I will move forward anyway. Because every dream worth chasing will scare you. Every calling worth answering will intimidate you. But if you allow fear to decide your future, you will never know how powerful you could have been. So the next time fear rises up, pause. Don't run. Don't hide. Just breathe. Inhale courage. Exhale doubt. Inhale faith. Exhale hesitation. With every breath, you are rewiring your mind, strengthening your heart, and reminding yourself that fear is not in charge. You are. You were not born to life small. You were not born to shrink back and let fear write your story. You were born to rise, to lead, to shine. But in order to do that, you must breathe courage when fear tries to take over. Because as long as you are breathing, you have the power to choose faith over fear, action over paralysis, destiny over defeat. And when you breathe courage, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can hold you back. Breathe vision into your life. Without vision, people perish. Without vision, you wake up every day going through the motions, existing but not truly living. Without vision, your breath becomes survival instead of purpose. But when you breathe vision into your life, you give every breath direction, meaning, and power. Vision turns your breath into fuel that carries you towards something greater than where you are right now. I remember meeting a young man who had given up on himself. He worked long hours at a job he hated, came home exhausted, and repeated the cycle every day. He told me, "Les, I feel like I'm alive, but I'm not living." And I asked him, "What do you see for your future? What do you dream about when nobody's watching?" He paused, and then for the first time in years, his eyes lit up. He said, "I always wanted to start my own business, but I thought it was too late. I thought it was impossible." And I told him, the only thing impossible is the life you stop breathing vision into. That man began to shift his perspective. He started waking up earlier, planning, learning, and step by step, he brought his vision to life. That's what happens when you breathe vision. You stop seeing life as a prison, and you start seeing it as a canvas. You stop focusing on what's wrong, and you start focusing on what's possible. You stop waiting for someone else to give you permission, and you realize that your breath, the very fact that you are alive, is your permission. But here's the challenge. Too many people stop breathing vision because they let their past failures blind them. They say, "I tried before and it didn't work. I've made too many mistakes. I don't have the resources. I don't know the right people." Let me tell you something. Your past is a classroom, not a prison. It is a lesson, not a life sentence. Your past does not decide your future. Your vision does. Every person who ever changed the world did it because they dared to breathe vision where others only saw limitations. When others saw darkness, they imagined light. When others saw obstacles, they imagined opportunities. When others said, "It can't be done," they said, "Watch me." That kind of vision is not just a dream. It is a decision to see beyond where you are, to believe beyond what you've been told, and to step into the destiny that's been waiting for you. Some of you need to start dreaming again. Somewhere along the way, you stopped. Life hit you hard, and you let the storm steal your vision. But if you're still breathing, your vision is not dead. It may be buried, but it's not gone. It may be hidden, but it's still alive inside you. All you have to do is breathe life back into it. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Picture it when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed at night. Feed your vision until it becomes stronger than your doubt. And don't wait for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. The perfect time to breathe vision into your life is the moment you realize that you cannot afford to live another day without it. Vision is what wakes you up when the alarm clock can't. Vision is what pushes you forward when failure knocks you down. Vision is what makes you fight for a future that others can't see yet. Let me ask you, what do you see for yourself? Not what you've been told to settle for, not what your circumstances suggest, but what do you truly see when you dare to look with the eyes of your heart? Because if you can see it, you can breathe it into your imagination. You can begin to build it into reality. So stop living small. Stop suffocating under fear, under doubt, under other people's opinions. Start breathing vision. Start believing that your life was designed for more. Because when you breathe vision into your life, you ignite a fire that no storm can extinguish, no failure can diminish, and no fear can destroy. That fire will guide you, fuel you, and carry you into the destiny you were born to live. Breathe persistence. When the journey gets hard, every dream worth chasing will test you. Every goal worth fighting for will stretch you to your limits. And every vision worth building will put weight on your shoulders that will make you question whether you have the strength to carry it. That's why you must learn to breathe persistence when the journey gets hard. Because persistence is what separates the dreamers from the doers, the talkers from the achievers, and the almost from the champions. I remember talking to a man who wanted to write a book. He had this story burning inside of him, a story that could change lives. But every time he sat down to write, he froze. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I have what it takes. And I said, listen, you don't need to write the whole book today. All you need to do is breathe. Sit down, take a deep breath, and write one page. Then breathe again and write another. Persistence isn't about giant leaps, it's about consistent steps. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it, even when it hurts, even when no one's clapping for you. Because if you keep breathing persistence, page by page, step by step, you will eventually build what others thought was impossible. See, most people quit not because they don't have the talent, but because they don't have the persistence. They think success is supposed to be quick, easy, and instant. But that's not how greatness works. Greatness is forged in the fire of struggle, in the grind of repetition, in the quiet nights where you keep going even though no one is watching. Persistence is breathing when others are gasping for excuses. Persistence is staying in the fight when everyone else has walked away. Think about the stories of those who've made history. They weren't the smartest, the wealthiest, or the most talented in the room, but they had something others didn't. They refused to quit. When doors slammed shut, they knocked again. When opportunities slipped away, they created their own. When failure laughed in their face, they breathed persistence and tried one more time. That's the spirit you must cultivate if you're going to reach the heights you were destined for. And let me tell you, this persistence is not glamorous. It doesn't always feel good. There will be mornings when you don't want to get out of bed, when everything inside you screams to give up. There will be moments when you question whether your effort is even worth it. And that's exactly when you must take a breath and remind yourself, I did not come this far to stop now. Your breath becomes your anchor, your reminder that even if today is hard, tomorrow can be better if you don't quit today. I know some of you listening right now have been grinding for years with little to show for it. You've been trying, pushing, and struggling, and it feels like nothing is changing. You're tired, you're weary, you want to let go. But this is your moment to breathe persistence. Because the truth is, breakthroughs often happen right after the point most people give up. What if you are one breath away from your breakthrough? What if the next time you push, the next time you try, the next time you step forward, everything changes? Don't let go before the blessing arrives. Don't quit before the miracle happens. Persistence is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's not about how fast you move, it's about how consistent you are. If you fall, breathe persistence and rise again. If you fail, breathe persistence and try again. If the world says no, breathe persistence until you create your own yes. So today, make a decision. Decide that you will no longer stop at the first sign of difficulty. Decide that you will no longer let fear, failure, or fatigue dictate your destiny. Decide that you will breathe persistence when the journey gets hard, because the journey will get hard. But you are harder. The struggle will test you, but you are stronger. And as long as you are breathing, you have the power to keep going. Persistence is the song of champions. It's the rhythm of survivors. It's the anthem of those who refuse to die with their dreams still inside them. So breathe it, live it, and let it carry you all the way to the finish line. Breathe faith when doubt tries to silence you. Doubt is one of the most dangerous enemies of the human spirit. It doesn't come with a loud roar. It creeps in silently like a shadow. It tells you, you're not ready, you're not qualified, you're too late, you don't have what it takes. And if you're not careful, doubt will talk you out of opportunities that were meant for you. Doubt will convince you to shrink back when you were designed to stand tall. Doubt will make you settle for less when greatness is in your DNA. But when doubt tries to silence you, that's when you must breathe faith. Because faith is the voice that says, even if I can't see it yet, I believe it. Even if I don't know how, I know it's possible. Even if I feel weak, I know there is strength inside me greater than this moment. I once spoke with a young woman who wanted to start her own non-profit organization. She had a heart filled with vision and ideas that could impact lives. But every time she tried to move forward, doubt would whisper, "Who do you think you are? Nobody will take you seriously. You're too inexperienced. You don't have enough resources." She told me, "Les, I feel paralyzed by my own thoughts." And I told her, that's why you've got to breathe faith. You can't fight doubt with silence. You fight it with belief. Every breath you take is a reminder that the one who gave you life also gave you purpose. And if he gave you purpose, he also gave you enough power to fulfill it. She took that to heart. Slowly, she began to take steps. One connection led to another. One door opened another. And today, her organization is thriving because she refused to let doubt suffocate her dream. That's the power of breathing faith. Faith is not about ignoring the obstacles. It's about believing in the outcome that lives beyond the obstacles. Faith is about saying, yes, the mountain is big, but my determination is bigger. Yes, the valley is deep, but my courage runs deeper. Yes, I have doubts, but my faith will not let those doubts dictate my destiny. So many people miss out on their potential because they wait until they feel ready. Let me tell you something. You may never feel fully ready. If you wait until doubt disappears, you'll be waiting your whole life. Doubt doesn't vanish. You learn to move in spite of it. And the way you do that is by breathing faith into your spirit every single day. When you wake up in the morning, breathe faith into your thoughts. Today I will rise. Today I will move closer to my dream. Today I will not let fear or doubt decide my life. When setbacks come, breathe faith into your situation. This is not the end. This is only a test. I will come back stronger, wiser, and more prepared. When people doubt you, breathe faith into your response. You may not believe in me, but I believe in me. And as long as I'm breathing, I will not stop. But faith doesn't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. Faith is what moves you when logic says wait. Faith is what carries you when doubt says quit. Faith is the difference between people who watch life happen and people who make life happen. Let me ask you right now, what have you allowed doubt to silence in your life? Is it a dream you buried years ago? Is it a goal you stopped pursuing because you failed once or twice? Is it the belief in yourself that you've let slip away? Whatever it is, I want you to know it's not dead. It's waiting for you to breathe faith back into it. It's waiting for you to rise up and say, I may not have all the answers, but I believe I'm capable. I may not know how yet, but I believe it will come together. I may not see the finish line, but I believe I will get there if I keep moving. So when doubt tries to silence you, don't give it your breath. Don't give it your energy. Don't give it your life. Instead, breathe faith. Speak faith. Live faith. Because as long as you are breathing, you still have the power to build, to grow, and to win. And when you breathe faith, doubt loses its grip, your spirit rises, and your future opens wide before you. Breathe strength into your weakness. Every one of us has moments when we feel weak. Weak in our bodies, weak in our minds, weak in our spirit. Moments when the weight of life feels too heavy and the fight inside of us feels too small. And if we're not careful, we start to believe that weakness is who we are. But hear me, weakness is not your identity. It's only an experience. It's a moment, not a destiny. And when you find yourself weak, that's the very moment you must breathe strength. I remember sitting with a man who was battling addiction. He said, Luz, I feel powerless. I've tried and failed so many times that I don't think I can ever win this fight. And I told him, you are not powerless. You're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, you've still got fight left in you. Every breath is a chance to pull strength from the inside and use it to stand back up again. He didn't see it at first because weakness has a way of blinding us. But little by little, he began to breathe strength into himself. Through affirmations, through faith, through showing up one more time. And one day, he looked at me and said, I feel stronger now than I've ever been. That man turned his weakness into a testimony of resilience because he learned how to breathe strength when he felt weakest. Here's the truth, real strength is not proven in the moments when life is easy. Anybody can feel strong when everything is going well. Real strength shows up when you're broken, when you're tired, when you've lost more than you can count. Real strength shows up in the moments when weakness says, stop, but your breath says, keep going. When you breathe strength into your weakness, you discover that you are bigger than your feelings. You may feel weak, but you are not weak. You may feel tired, but you are not finished. You may feel broken, but you are not destroyed. Feelings are temporary, but the strength you breathe into yourself, that's eternal. That's what carries you through the valleys and over the mountains. Some of you listening to me right now have been stuck because you've been waiting to feel strong before you act. Let me tell you, strength doesn't come before you move. It comes while you move. It comes when you take that shaky step forward, when you show up despite your tears, when you fight even though your knees are trembling. That's when strength shows up. You don't wait for it. You breathe it into yourself, and then you act. Think about this. Some of the strongest people you admire today weren't born with unshakable confidence or unbreakable willpower. No, they felt weak, just like you. They had moments where they wanted to quit, just like you. The difference is they chose to breathe strength into those moments. They chose to rise when everything in them wanted to lie down. They chose to fight when their circumstances screamed surrender. That's what makes them strong, not the absence of weakness, but the decision to breathe strength when weakness comes. And listen, sometimes that strength doesn't roar. Sometimes strength sounds like a whisper, one more day, one more try, one more step. Sometimes strength is simply showing up again. Sometimes strength is just refusing to let the darkness win. And that's enough. Because the small breaths of strength add up into a storm of resilience that no weakness can overcome. So the next time you feel weak, don't let that weakness define you. Breathe strength into it. Say to yourself, I am still here. I am still fighting. I am still breathing. And as long as I breathe, I cannot be defeated. Remind yourself that strength is not about never falling. It's about rising every single time you fall. It's about refusing to let weakness have the last word. You were built for more than your weakness. You were built for victory, for resilience, for greatness. And the key to unlocking it is already inside you, in your breath. So breathe strength. Breathe it into your bones, your heart, your spirit. Let it rise up until your weakness is transformed into power. Because as long as you breathe strength into your weakness, you will never stay down. You will rise again and again until your life itself becomes proof of the unstoppable power inside you. Breathe growth when life demands change. Life is not meant to leave you the same. Every season, every challenge, every breakthrough, and every breakdown, it all comes to grow you. But here's the thing, growth is never comfortable. Growth demands change. Growth requires you to stretch, to shed old layers, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to step into what feels unfamiliar. And in those moments when life demands change, you've got to breathe growth. You've got to inhale the lessons, exhale the excuses, and embrace the transformation that is waiting for you. I once spoke to a man who told me, Les, I feel stuck. I feel like I'm living the same year over and over again. And I asked him, when was the last time you grew? He looked at me with silence, and then he admitted, I can't remember. See, that's the danger of settling into comfort. Comfort feels safe, but it keeps you from growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. Growth is what gives your breath direction. Growth is what gives your struggles purpose. Growth is what ensures that every breath you take is moving you closer to the person you were destined to become. But growth doesn't come without resistance. Just like muscles grow through pressure and tension, your life grows through obstacles and challenges. The pain you're feeling right now, the struggle you're going through, it's not here to destroy you, it's here to grow you. It's here to teach you endurance, discipline, resilience, and wisdom. But you'll only get the benefit if you choose to breathe growth instead of bitterness. Too many people waste their struggles because they hold their breath in anger, in resentment, in self-pity. But if you breathe growth, if you inhale the lesson and exhale the pain, your struggle becomes your teacher, not your prison. Let me remind you, growth demands change, and change demands courage. Sometimes growth means letting go of people who can't go where you're going. Sometimes growth means stepping out of an environment that keeps you small. Sometimes growth means facing parts of yourself you've been avoiding for years. And yes, it will hurt. Yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Yes, you will want to run back to the familiar. But if you do, you'll rob yourself of the person you're becoming. Growth will always demand that you trade who you are for who you could be. Think about the caterpillar. To the outside world, it looks like an ending when it enters the cocoon. But inside, transformation is happening. Painful, messy, unseen growth is taking place. And one day, that same creature breaks out with wings. That's the power of breathing growth. When life demands change, you may feel like you're in a cocoon right now, stuck, pressured in the dark. But if you keep breathing growth, if you refuse to quit, you'll come out stronger, freer, and more beautiful than before. I know it's tempting to resist change. I know it's easier to cling to the familiar, even when the familiar is killing you. But you've got to ask yourself, am I breathing life into my growth, or am I suffocating my future by holding on to my past? Because life will keep demanding growth, whether you embrace it or not. And if you fight it, you'll feel stuck, frustrated, unfulfilled. But if you breathe into it, if you let change do its work, you'll rise into a version of yourself you never knew existed. Some of you are standing at the doorway of change right now. You know it. You can feel it. Life has been pushing you, nudging you, whispering to you that it's time to grow. Maybe it's time to start that business, to write that book, to step into that calling, to let go of that toxic habit, or to finally believe in yourself again. But you've been holding your breath in fear. You've been saying, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? But I want you to breathe growth and ask instead, what if I succeed? What if I change? What if this is the very step that unlocks everything I've been waiting for? Growth is not easy, but it is always worth it. Because when you look back, you'll realize that the hardest seasons of your life were the ones that grew you the most. You'll see that every change, every stretch, every painful lesson was shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more powerful. So don't resist it. Don't fear it. Breathe growth when life demands change, because your next level is waiting on the other side of that breath. Breathe action into your dreams. Breathing power into your life means nothing if it never turns into action. You can dream all day long. You can pray. You can hope. You can envision a brighter tomorrow. But at the end of the day, life rewards action. Faith without works is dead. A dream without steps is nothing but a fantasy. You've got to breathe action into your dreams if you ever want to see them come alive. I've met so many people who told me, Les, I'm waiting for the right time. I'm waiting until I feel ready. I'm waiting until the stars line up, until I have enough money, until I have the right connections. And do you know what happens? They spend their whole life waiting. They spend their whole life holding their breath, suffocating on excuses, while their dreams wither away. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment when all the lights turn green. If you're waiting for perfection, you'll be waiting forever. At some point, you've got to take a deep breath, step out, and act. Action is what separates those who wish from those who achieve. Every single success story you admire started with a moment of action. Someone decided to stop waiting, to stop doubting, and to move forward, even if they didn't feel ready. Think about it, the Wright brothers didn't wait until everyone believed flying was possible. They acted. Thomas Edison didn't wait until failure left him alone. He acted again and again until the light bulb turned on. People who change the world, people who change their lives, they are people of action. And you have that same power in you. But here's the key: action doesn't mean giant leaps every single day. Action often looks like small, consistent steps that add up over time. Too many people get paralyzed because they think they have to do it all at once. No. You don't have to climb the mountain in one jump. You climb it step by step, breath by breath. If all you can do today is make one phone call, do it. If all you can do is write one page, write it. If all you can do is take one step, take it, because momentum is built in motion. Once you start, the path becomes clearer, and your confidence grows, and your dream starts to breathe on its own. And yes, you will fail. Yes, you will stumble. Yes, you will fall short sometimes. But action is not about perfection. It's about progression. Every failure is a lesson. Every mistake is a teacher. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. You can't learn how to swim by standing on the shore. You can't discover your strength by staying in your comfort zone. You only grow through doing. And every time you act, even if you fall, you're still further ahead than the one who never tried. I want you to think about your dream right now. That thing inside you that won't let you go. That vision that keeps tugging at your heart. What action are you going to take for it? Because you can't just keep breathing in the idea of it. You've got to exhale action. You've got to put your hands, your time, your energy, your faith behind it. Stop saying someday and make today your day one. Stop saying I will and start saying I am. When you breathe action into your dreams, something powerful happens. Doors begin to open that you didn't even know existed. People show up in your path to help you. Opportunities align. Your energy shifts. Why? Because life responds to boldness. Life responds to those who act. The universe, God, the world, it all moves in favor of the person who dares to move forward. But here's the warning. If you don't act, your dreams will suffocate. They will die in your chest, and you will live with the pain of what could have been. That is the heaviest burden to carry, the weight of an unlived dream. Don't let that be your story. Don't let fear steal your future. Don't let procrastination rob you of your purpose. Take a breath, right here, right now, and let this be the breath that carries you into action. Let this be the breath that starts the business, that writes the book, that makes the call, that takes the step. Because the world doesn't just need your dream, it needs your action. Somebody out there is waiting on you to act. Somebody's breakthrough is connected to your courage. Somebody's future is tied to the action you take today. So breathe action into your dreams. Not tomorrow, not next week, today, right now, this moment. Because power without action is wasted potential. And you, my friend, were created for more than that. You were created to act, to move, to live fully alive. Take the breath, take the step, take the action, and watch your dreams come alive.